We're getting closer to the NFL draft by the day, and I want to talk about some of these players. Some of these players I do talk about in the rankings videos, but I do need to shine a spotlight one by one. Today we're going to be talking about Roschon Johnson from the Texas Longhorns. 3-star dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. 6th best dual quarterback in 2019 recruiting class. And the dude was solid. Freshman season had 649 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. Sophomore season, 418 yards, 6 touchdowns. Junior season, 569, 5 touchdowns. Senior season, capped it off with 554 yards and 5 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson was there, so of course he's going to take a lot of the workload. Considering that, got a fair amount of production. Wasn't super productive, but in context, it was okay. Not the greatest. Averaged 4.28 yards after contact per attempt. Forced 46 missed tackles last year. Pretty solid. Caught 56 balls on his career. Averaged 7.8 yards after the catch per reception. Everything's okay. Maybe a little bit more in the receiving game from a production standpoint, but he's also sharing the field with a generational running back talent. So the fact that he was able to give you something of notoriety is something good to see. And really, when we think about him, is the size suggests athleticism, and that points to the combine, where he came in at 6 foot, 219 pounds. Might have came in a little trim, might be playing at a heavier weight than that. Ran a 4.58 40-yard dash, not super electric, but makes sense considering his size. Had a 31.5-inch vertical. Going over this combine, one thing you want to note is it's not bad, but it's also not the greatest either. It's just right down the center. So it's okay. It's good enough to get the job done, but you're also not going to say you're over the moon about it. He's competitive. Had a good split off the 40, but again, 4.58, 31.5-inch vertical. Not a great burst score. Size adjusted speed scores, it's okay. So that's what we got. We got an okay combine. But things get pretty sexy when you look at the tape. This guy's a tape monster. Power back with good size, very assertive. He's an aggressive running back. He can run you over, jump over you, get around you. He's got very sweet feet, and he's a smooth runner. Very smooth operator. Decent vision. Can really hit the hole hard. Moves well for his size, but like to see him chain together moves a little bit better. I wish he was a little bit quicker, but considering he's a 220-plus pound back, I know he weighed a little less than that at the combine, but I imagine he plays a little heavier than that. Also need to see him improve his change of direction skills a bit. That goes in the sense of chaining together moves. But all in all, when it does come to moving laterally for his size, for him being a taller back, he does that pretty well. You have to take account for that with his size, those limitations that come with it. Very assertive, though, and runs with some pop. Once he gets to go on full speed, he's dangerous. And the thing about him is once he gets on his NFL team, you know he's going to take over the short yardage work, the goal line work, and possibly more if he develops into his role, takes it over. My thoughts on him is that there are a lot of rumors of him getting drafted higher than what you think. Maybe a day 2 selection. If that happens, then you're going to have to follow him. I don't think he's got an elite profile, but I think he's good enough to get the job done. I think what you see out of him on tape really gets you excited. The production's fine, but it's not over the moon. Bijan's there. Bijan's going to Bijan. You're not going to really have 1,000 yards rushing with Bijan on the roster, so that makes sense. But he was very efficient with the ball in his hands. The combine was fine too. Does not blow the doors off, but it was good enough. We know he's good enough to compete at the NFL level, at least from the metric portion of his profile, from the athleticism and the production standpoint. There are some amazing highlights there where he's jumping over dudes, running over dudes, getting around dudes. Really looks very agile there. He's very smooth and efficient with everything he's got with his footwork and how he delivers blows to the point of contact. He does get high a little bit, but that's also his tall nature. He's a taller running back, so that's going to be high a little bit. So he may have to anticipate more at the point of contact. Him jumping over dudes, though, always good classic footage. If you get a chance to take a look at those. Big backs that can move is something you want to watch. I wish he had more in the receiving profile, but he can't catch the ball in the backfield. And if he wasn't sharing the backfield with Bijan Robinson, I imagine he'd have a little bit more in that part of his production profile. but the fact that we're seeing him catch his passes out of the backfield is a good thing. Honestly, I'm just watching the draft. I'm watching to see who drafts him. I want to watch see how far he goes down in the draft. Is he getting drafted in the third? Does he get snuck up there in the second? Does he fall to fifth or sixth round? Could be all over this place. When it comes to this time of draft season, you're going to hear all kinds of rumors. One thing to know is this is a deep running back class, so teams can really sit on their hands and wait and still get a talented running back. They know that. They know they can do that. So you may catch a few guys that are talented slip down the board a few spots, maybe a round or so, than what they would usually do. So that's something you want to think of. All in all, you're drafting him in the second round or third round of rookie drafts. Doubt he goes in the fourth round. He's going somewhere around there. Really depends on the draft capital. Really depends on who drafts him. And honestly, what you hear about him depends on who's talking about him. There's a lot of people that are very high on him, but they won't rank him high. And then there's a lot of people that are very over the moon on him, have him ranked in top 5, top 3 or so. So he's a player you just want to watch. I think he's a very fun prospect. I think in the right situation, he'd be a good get for your Dynasty team. I think this is just a wait-and-see type of deal, but he does have some goods to get the job done for you. Let me know what you think about him in the comments below. Smash that subscribe button on the way out. It's only going to help you build your Dynasty teams. And I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.